Welcome back to another episode of Security Skates. This is your host Paul, and on this episode you will attend the Watts Serenity Beautification project at Monitor Skate Park that happens every first and third Saturday of every month throughout 2026 from 2 to 5 p.m. This one took place on March 14th. Got started out here. We have our usual setup with the signage and cleanup tools, have our table with the buckets and grabbers, have the snacks and drinks out. My lovely mother, as always, assisting us out here. We had the spare parts box, the sign-in sheet, the Los Angeles Office of Community Beautification information out, and we were ready to go. Anybody who is familiar with Monitor will know that there is this big crack near the hump that has been there for years. Came today ready to fill that in. Wanted to show you guys what that looked like. Could definitely end your day really quick. Been there for a long time now. You can see there's some weeds growing out of it. Wanted to make that the first thing that I focused on during the day so that we could get that set and ready to skate by the time we were done with our cleanup. So I'm going to show you guys how I did that here. You can see the warning there. It says watch out, fool. First I got my leaf blower, got all the dust and dirt out of there. Those weeds wouldn't come up right away. Was going to have to pull those out. Definitely did that by hand. Next I got my steel brush, scraped out some of the particles and little bits of dirt and dust that were in there before I put the Bondo in. Did actually go out and get a can of Bondo for this. Wanted to try and do it the best that I could. Make sure that it was skatable again. Give it a nice clean. Got all the dust blown out of there. Now I was ready to move on to the next step. Now I did watch some tutorials and read the instructions on how to use this Bondo. So I knew that I had to tape it up and first make the area that I wanted to get bondoed up open so that I could get that stuff in there. I was excited to get this going. This was my first time using this stuff, so it did come out a little bit rough, but I was more than ready to get this crack filled in. So, got a cone, got this area blocked off kind of, and started pouring. Gonna get that stuff in there. Tried to lay it out nice and flat. Didn't work out as well as I thought it would, but did come out pretty good. See that there. If anybody has any tips or any suggestions on how to maybe put this a little bit better next time, feel free to let me know in the comments. Wanted to make sure I was covering all the areas that I was trying to fill in. I didn't realize how quick this stuff was going to start drying up. I suppose with the heat from the sun, it was already starting to cake up a little bit. You can see it there. It was starting to harden up. Got a little bit rougher. It's going to have to smooth that out. But definitely got that down. And got that crack out of the way so that we could get skating on that hill properly again. So with the patchwork out of the way, I was ready to get over here and get to the gardening. You can see this massive tree that's grown out. I was ready to get to work on that. Get some of those branches cut off that were starting to grow into the walkway or the skateway of the park. See, it was pretty big. Pretty big when we first got started. This is a shot here. I'm going to show you guys some of the work that we have already done here in the park. Got all this section cleared out. Got this corner all cleared. Now again, if you were familiar with Monitor before, you would know that some of the bushes and stuff that were in these corners and in these areas had actually grown into the skate park and were for sure getting in the way of skating. So it was good to get rid of those and see that this area was still looking pretty good. Wanted to get started over here, show you guys there's a little palm tree sticking out. Did not want to remove that because that provides some nice shade on those hot summer days that are coming. But I had my little handsaw. Wanted to show you guys how I got started on this tree. Wasn't quite sure where to dive in, but I did want to get started as the day was wearing on. So you can see there, started cutting down some of these branches. Started pulling them out and stacking them up. There's that one there. I was surprised to see how quickly it started clearing up as I was cutting off these branches. You can see there's that big one there. And again, these were things that were kind of growing over into the walkway or the skateway of the skate park. So I just kind of got down to the base of them, figured out which ones I needed to get rid of, which ones were still able to grow out. Good times. You can see the branch pile was starting to grow here. There's that big one I got too. At this point, I was already starting to get a good sweat out, and I still had to take these branches that I was cutting to the pickup area. I know that pile is kind of growing, but you can see how clear it was from the beginning. Really happy and satisfied with this work that I got done this day. Might want to invest in an electric saw. An electric hand saw would make this a whole lot easier. I was really happy with this cleanups before and after. Check this out, y'all. Went from looking like this, all this shrubbery, to this. Nice and clean, ready to skate. Let's go. Here's a little video. I do have some plans for these dirt areas once we get the whole park cleaned up. Maybe get some plants in there, get some flowers, some nice stuff going, make it look real nice and pretty. Still had some more area to do for the next one. There's another big tree. This was the whole area we got cleaned out on this day. Good times. Big shout out to all the helpers that helped out, came through and had some fun with us. Now we are going to check back in on that patchwork, that Bondo, see how it's going. Wanted to come out and sand it down. I didn't have a block sander or anything, so I did get the base plate of a truck that I had in the spare parts box. Started to hit it with that. Kind of smooth it out a little bit, get some of those rough points and little rocky points off. Got some good work there. Wasn't looking too bad. It's looking a lot better than the big hole that was there before. And definitely skatable. Put it to the test myself. Got that. Went and found a rock. Started to hit it with that. Make it just a little bit smoother. I do want to go back and try and smooth this out one of the next times that I'm out there, but this was pretty good compared to what it was before. Really happy with this work. Not bad for my first time doing a Bondo job. And this was all in one day, cutting down the tree, putting up the Bondo. You can see here's the before and the after. Looking a lot better. On this day, I believe we got 7 bags of trash. See that there? There's all the branches that I had cut down. Good times. Again, a huge thank you to all the volunteers that came out and helped out. Monitor Skate Park is looking real good these days. Here's all our tools. We're getting wrapped up, ready to go. Good times. One of the parts that I love about doing these cleanups is seeing the kids help out. That's always fun. We're going to move on to the March 28th cleanup. Let's go. We got our usual setup out. The table with the buckets and the refreshments. We got the signage, the main trash can, and all the cleanup tools we need for this cleanup. It was a beautiful day out here at Monitor. You see all the work that we had done last time was still looking pretty good. I'm going to take a little ride around real quick. Go check on this Bondo job. Let's go. Now this was 2 weeks later after we had done the job, so it had held up really well. You could tell that it was being put to use and people were skating it, so I was really happy to see that. At this cleanup, we're going to focus on this area over here, try and get some of this stuff cleared out, see how far we can make it in the 3 hours. I'm going to do a quick review of the stuff that we had already cleaned up before. These were all the branches. There's the palm tree. It was coming along nice, starting to bloom. There's that corner area, still looking pretty good. Starting to see some weeds grow in where we cleaned up before. Definitely want to hit that area with some weed killer. Other side of the fence was looking really good. You can go and check back in the earlier videos from the earlier cleanups, and this part was really bad, but we got all that area cleaned up as well. It's looking good. There's no more leaf buildup on the inside of the park. But today, we're tackling that monster. Let's go. The day was carrying on and we were getting a few volunteers. I didn't get much videos of me doing some work today, but here's a good before and after. Check this out, y'all. Looking real good. Really pleased with the work I got done out there this day. See, going this one. Took all this down just a little bit further. Cleared out all that area. Here's a video. of that whole area there. You know, I always start the day in the cleanup like, okay, I'm going to get this whole fence done this day. And then it takes me the 2 hours to just get a good 6 to 8 foot section done. And it's like, man, this gardening stuff is no joke. I know this is a little different from the usual gardening jobs. There's a little palm tree there growing in. Left that one there. But yeah, this stuff is no joke. It's some hard work. We are out there getting up some of the grass and some of the overgrown roots and fire risks, fire hazards that are out there growing in the bushes. And it just takes some time to dig into it. And admittedly, you know, most of the time it's just me doing it. Might go a little bit quicker if we had a few more volunteers that would help out there, kind of get some of that stuff torn up. But I absolutely love doing this work, and I am pleased with the work that is coming along. Yeah, check that out. So beautiful. So at this point, the park is looking real good. Has the graffiti that can always be reported to my 311LA. Want to give a shout out to the homie Craig for showing up and helping out, and also to the young lady who helped out and pulled up some of the weeds and grass that were along the other fence area. I'm going to show you some of that here. Good times. Go ahead and check this one out, y'all. Woo, we're all done. It's about to be 6 p.m. We were out here for 4 hours today cleaning up. That's what we got. Check it out. We got half, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.5 bags of trash. And all this brush. Looking good. This was our haul today. Good times. Let's go. Words cannot express how much fun it is out to get to this Watts Serenity Park Community Beautification Project. A big shout out to the Office of Community Beautification. Be sure to link up with them for any cleanups you're doing in your City of Los Angeles neighborhood. If you're not doing it yet, be sure to follow us on Instagram at security_skates to keep up with the next cleanups and skate lessons. Security Skates Productions is a privately skater-owned independent enterprise and skate parks advocate. You can find out more about us by logging on to securityskates.com. This has been your host, Paul, signing off. Now put down your phone and go skate, y'all. Happy skateboarding.